ورسوله الكريم أما بعد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولو أنا كتبنا عليهم أن يقتلوا أنفسهم ويخرجوا من ديارهم ما فعلوه إلا قليل منهم ولو أنهم فعلوا ما يوعظون به لكان خيرا لهم وأشد تثبيتا. صدق الله العظيم. We begin our reminder today with regards to what's happening in Turkey and in Syria. 22,000 have passed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on their souls. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant the survivors endurance and allow them to become more steadfast in their struggles and challenges. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, "La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never puts anyone through difficulties that they cannot endure. And all of us sitting here, we are an ummah, a nation of optimism. And we can definitely acknowledge and confirm that that specific region and area facing calamities and challenges one after the other, just complete domino, repeat challenges and trials and tribulations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala definitely seen that batch of our brothers and sisters are most definitely the most capable of enduring. You and I probably would never be able to endure. Right now, just walking from our car to the masjid, it was cold. We wanted to rush into the warm, heated masjid. And what about those brothers and sisters over there? Forget about a comfortable home or a warm meal. They have no home to go back to. They have lost many loved ones. I'm sure many of us have witnessed many videos being shared. We are currently living in a global village where the occurrences on the opposite side of the planet, we're receiving it within seconds. So again, the most we can do, or at least the least that we can do, is make dua for them and appreciate the luxuries and the blessings that we are enjoying here on this side of the planet. One thing we can mention today, and very briefly, we have very short time, is the topic of refugees and asylum seekers. That area that was hit by the earthquake in neighboring Syria, we know the situation there for many years now, going on a decade. Our brothers and sisters of Syria, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy upon them, they found some sort of shelter in Turkey. They migrated into Turkey. And we know those buildings were stacked upon each other, high-rises, apartment buildings, residents, and they were just falling like dominoes. They were falling like a house of cards, so the saying goes. So just touching on this subject matter of asylum seekers and refugees, where is our heart and mind on this subject matter of assisting those who are less fortunate and those who come to our borders and our shores? After all, for what else? Because they experienced being chased out of their homes due to war, due to this earthquake, whatever the reason, they were chased out of their home. So just touching on this subject matter today very briefly. And we know the modern day debate is a very complex debate regarding welcoming asylum seekers and refugees. And we're not even going to touch on the subject matter of illegal aliens. We're just going to touch on the individuals, the group, the batch who are known as refugees and asylum seekers. What does it say in our religion? What was the practice of our Prophet ﷺ? It's a very important subject matter that needs to be discussed, or at least we should see where we stand on this subject matter. And in our day and age, what happens is that when we compare it to pre-Islam Arabia was a time where the tribal system was very strong. The tribal system, Asabiya, was so strong that if you belonged to a certain tribe that gave you support system like none other. But if you belonged to a lower tribe, you were borderline an outcast. That was pre-Islam Arabia. And we know Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came and eliminated this concept of Asabiya, tribal mentality, with the whole concept of hijrah. And we're just fast forwarding to our day and age today where if it has not already popped its head up again, Asabiya, in modern day context. Some say that it's probably even worse today than pre-Islam Arabia, the tribal mentality. The tribal mentality exists, and many a time we are probably drawn into that debate without even knowing. What is that tribal mentality nowadays? It comes in the form of citizenship of a certain country, or being the passport holder of a certain country that gives X amount of privileges. I think on an annual basis, the release, or on a media level, the most sought after passport in the world, or the nationality. I'm sure America is up there, but some other countries they rank top 10 because their passport gives them privileges to visit certain countries without visas. So what about those on the bottom end of that list? Most of those on the bottom end of that list are probably Muslim majority countries that are passport holders. For example, can we imagine if we were the holders of an Afghani passport, or an Iraqi passport, or a Somali passport? But the list goes on. The Muslim majority countries, they have, what type of privileges are they welcome to? And again, this whole subject matter, we're discussing it today, just allowing ourselves to appreciate what was pre-Islam, the Asabiya, the tribal mentality. What did Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam introduce to the world, and where are we today? The border system is a modern phenomenon where people are not able to travel freely. You need a visa. We even need visas to go to the two holy sanctuaries. You have to go on some website and print out an Umrah or Hajj visa and then travel. Even though we might have a US passport. So what we're touching on today is just looking and placing ourselves in the footsteps of those survivors of the Turkey and Syria earthquake, and just what would we do? All of us sitting here in America, we're in comfort. We have an amazing accommodation, home, we have safety, security, we're probably going to go back to work. This is probably our lunch break. Some of us probably got paid today because it's Friday. And what else? We look forward to the weekend. Many people are probably planning Super Bowl parties. Let us just take a moment today and just realize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed those brothers and sisters in that part of the world because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew in His infinite wisdom and His knowledge, subhanahu wa ta'ala, that those are the only people that could probably endure that type of challenge and trials and tribulations. You and I were probably complaining because we didn't have enough salt in our lunch. Or maybe because, walking from the car to the masjid, it was too cold. These are our complaints. And this is our uneasiness. Let us always make shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we ever find ourselves being ungrateful again, we have enough examples. We don't even have to go to the previous generation. We can just look at our own generation, look around the world, the dire and the desperate situation that our brothers and sisters are facing day in and day out. And in conclusion, we very briefly touched upon this concept of asylum seekers and refugees. Where do we stand? Where is our heart and mind? Are we hesitant that if someone came knocking on our door asking for assistance, would we turn them away? Or would we be willing to help? Many of the prophets, alayhimus salatu wassalam, they were individuals who might fit the definition of modern day asylum seekers or refugees. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam definitely made hijrah from Makkah to Medina. Examples of Musa alayhi salam is there. Examples of Ibrahim alayhi salam is there for us to read and appreciate and just look at their situation, look at our situation. Where are we today? In conclusion, I read in the beginning that when a person loses their home, in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala equates that to death. Even though they might be alive, look at those survivors in Turkey and in Syria. Even though they might be alive, they are literally looking to themselves that it was probably better that I died. What else do I live for? What else do I look forward to? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَوْ أَنَّا كَتَبْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ أَنْ يَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ أَوْ يَخْرُجُوا مِنْ دِيَارِكُمْ. The comparison is there. So we can just imagine that those brothers and sisters who lost everything, we all can go in and visit the human psyche. They probably are looking to their situation and saying that it was probably better that I became a shaheed. They lost everyone and everything. So again, we're just giving ourselves an opportunity today to share in their grief and in their sorrow. Have some sort of hurt in our hearts and mind for them. 22,000 have passed away into the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And many are still being removed from the rubble. Huge chunks of concrete falling on top of them. And we see in videos, small fingers are popping out through sewer systems or whatever the rubble is on top of them, small fingers covered in dust, saying that I'm still alive, I'm breathing, but it's becoming more and more difficult for me to breathe. And the helpers are saying, just continue breathing as long as you can, we're coming. We're coming to help you, we're going to take you out, giving them some sort of hope. So in conclusion, there are brothers and sisters standing outside with different organizations to help any way we can. I mean, that is all we can do right now in terms of financial assistance and in terms of dua, making dua for them. And we make dua for ourselves as well. That when it is our time to leave this world, we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us shahada. Allahumma rzuqna shahadatan fi sabilik. وَاجْعَلْ مَوْتَنَا بِبَلَدِ رَسُولِكَ. We also make dua for each and every single one of us sitting here, for our brothers and sisters, our parents, our loved ones, that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all of us here a Christmas khatimah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the people who passed away in Turkey and Syria as shuhada. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help all of our brothers and sisters throughout the world. Alhamdulillah. Please come forward. Please make some space. There is room upstairs. Please continue moving upstairs. Inshallah, make space.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. يا أيها الناس وحدوا الله فإن التوحيد رأس الطاعات واتقوا الله فإن التقوى ملاك الحسنات وعليكم بالسنة فإن السنة تهدي إلى الطاعة ومن أطاع الله ورسوله فقد رشد واهتدى وإياكم والبدعة فإن البدعة تهدي إلى المعصية ومن يعص الله ورسوله فقد ضل وغوى وعليكم بالصدق فإن الصدق ينجي والكذب يهلك وعليكم بالإحسان فإن الله يحب المحسنين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. قل هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون إنما يتذكر أولو الألباب. بارك الله لنا ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعنا وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم إنه تعالى جواد كريم ملك بر رؤوف رحيم. الحمد لله نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم انصر إخواننا في كل مكان. اللهم ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. عباد الله رحمكم الله. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا